Ukrainian National Depository, and we are going to hear right now more about the challenges and opportunities of using innovative blockchain technology and what's the application within Ukrainian CSD is actually there. So big, again, round of applause, and we are about to start.
Thank you. So, good morning, or good day to everybody. I hope you have good time here in Odessa. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about what is going on in Ukrainian CSD. CSD, as you know, this is a central securities depository. So what we're trying to achieve and how we can use the new technology to achieve our goals and where we will go to. But actually, I would like to start from the maybe history from the past and just to have a context where we're operating and where we're going to. So actually, we are here in Odessa. We have here staircase to heaven, okay, Potemkinskaya staircase to heaven. And this is a place where a lot of inventors, Ukrainian inventors were, and also one of them was Sergei Pavlovich Korolev, who was actually a father of modern rocket industry, let's say, okay, and spaceship industry. He was here. He was closely related to Odessa, and I hope that all of you coming here also will have an input and just really just make a push, you know, for the human race, especially in the field of financial technology. Okay, so I will start from the 1917. Okay. And in 1917, it was here in Odessa, Project Drago. It was on 9th of December 1917, and it was issued 25 million rubles. At that time, here in the territory of Ukraine, you know, it was a breakup of Russian Empire, and as usually, we had a financial crisis. And as usually, you know, we had all the stuff that Daniel maybe talked to you about. So we had money hoarding. So in one place, there were a lot of money. In another place there were no money at all. So what happens, you know, so actually in Odessa here there were no money. So people were trying to use other means, you know, so they were printing just paper money, just all this sort of money. And also what people did, you know, so this like Project Drago, they issued 25 million rubles in large denominations and then 5 million rubles in small denominations and used it, you know, just to really, you know, smooth the economic activity, which is anyway in place, you know. People live, you know, so they have to do something, you know. They do something and they need, you know, means of exchange. That's why people were creating this, like Project Drago. They have created these new currencies. And then 1918, it was the Hetman Skoropadsky law, and it was issuance of 1 billion hryvnia, 4 years bond at 3.6%. And these bonds, for example, they were used as a means of payment. And they were by this law, they were enforced to be accepted as a legal tender. Okay, and this is what happened here. This is what happened here in Ukraine. So actually, we used here in this territory, Ukrainian territory, we used here some sort of complementary currency because I mean this sort of rubles that were issued here, they were complementary to existing one, you know, just existing Russian rubles, you know, which were in place here. Also, these bonds, they were also complementary currency. I mean, even bottle of vodka was used as a complementary currency here. But, well, actually, people are trying to use all the time, you know, some means of exchange, you know, helping them to exchange values, okay? And so actually, right now we see also this global trend, which is in place. So, as again, Daniel told you, so there are thousands of communities globally using this additional means of exchange. They are making different projects. There are sort of 4,000 or 5,000, whatever projects in the world, you know, running on, you know, on these complementary currencies. So people are trying to establish networks between themselves. So they do a network of businesses, you know, they do business anyway, you know. So they try to solve this problem, you know, that we have now. But in many different ways. Some of them successful, some of them maybe not, but still, and we are also in all the trends. So they are creating a group of so-called, this is a term, I think, yeah, or what? Her. Nice one. Yeah, that's netizens. Yeah, so we are not anymore the citizens. We just became netizens. People who are using network to communicate and to make economic exchanges as well, and who use some means of communication for that. Okay, so that's what some of people around the world, you and me and other people, we are just also re-engineering money. We're using some sort of money, legal tender, but we still use some complementary things like railplane miles. Yes, use miles. This is also complementary currency. So we do this. We use it, and we are participating in all these projects. We participating in very nice projects like Bitcoin, which just really showed us that blockchain technology is working, and this is very nice. This is a great example how new technology can really work in practice. Some, just some pluses, some minuses, but still, so it works. So we are together re-engineering our money. So we really understand that. So we can really create new projects which will help us to have sufficient money for the needs of communities, to exchange products, services, and we can foster very desirable outcomes. So which is greater cooperation and care and collaboration. Okay, this is what kind of outcomes we can have just by redesigning of money. So again, then coming back to National Depository of Ukraine. So how it relates to how all these developments relates to us, to Ukraine, and again to the National Depository of Ukraine. Because, as I told you, here in Ukraine, people were using, and successfully using at that time, the securities, bonds, as we told. So the bonds were used as a complementary currency. And complementary currency in the time of crisis, like the story of Vir. So you know this again. So you heard about the story. You know the story. Maybe somebody used this Vir. I don't know. I never used it. I know only the story. But actually, this complementary currency is very good. Why? Because actually it helps economy to go through cycles. To go through busts. So you have booms and busts. And it booms. You have not much Virs in circulations, but in busts. When economy is going down, because all the time when economy is going down, you have less money. You don't have much money. Okay, so you have lack of liquidity. You have no money supply. Okay, so you have money demand, but not enough money supply. So how you cope with them? You just create complementary currency, and complementary currency in this case when there are not enough liquidity, not enough money, so there are more complementary. And then again, when you have boom times, good, so when people want to exchange, so everybody think, so tomorrow will be better than today. Okay, so they try to get more loans and things like this. So there are less complementary currencies. People use more legal tender. So which means that actually complementary currencies really are complementary. It's not just a different currency which is used instead of legal tender, but this is a currency which complement. And because we think, that really the securities can be used as a complementary currency, we in NDU, we try to really rebuild and to establish a playing field, level playing field for securities here in Ukraine. So there are a few facts about NDU, maybe maybe not. So in National Depository of Ukraine is serving 12,000 issuers in Ukraine. So they are our customers. They're issuing, just shares. They're public companies, who are issuing their shares, and they're issuing, and we help them, just to account all this, what's happening with these issues. Okay. So we serve also 300 custodians. All banks, of course, because mostly banks have custody function in Ukraine, and also some companies who have custodian license here from the Securities Exchange Commission. And we have assets. I mean, this is par value. I'm not telling you about the market value, but par value is one something trillion hryvnia in assets. This is what we have in our walls. Okay. And we also serve 12,000 plus securities issuance. Okay, so this is everything that we have in a national depository of Ukraine. Okay, and as we understand that the people will be using more and more securities as a complementary currency, so we have to do something, just to help people do this. But we had problems. So what kind of problems we had? So in 2014, so we lost our backup facilities in occupied Crimea. Russians occupied Crimea. There were a very big backup facility. We lost it. With the servers, okay, we were managed, to take back our servers from there with data, but still, so I mean, this is a problem. And we had a loss of data in Trade Union House. Trade Union House was on a Maidan Square. Okay, and when we have this Revolution of Dignity, 2014, so it was a big fire there, and the data was lost. Okay, second thing. Third thing, we also lost the critical key infrastructure in Yalta. So in Yalta we had a center for public key infrastructure, especially for the Securities Depository. This is what happened with us, just last year. So these are risks that we not only, just imagine and calculate. These are risks that we've seen, we experienced, with our own hands and eyes, So. And also, in parallel, what we see, in parallel, we see that something happens in the area of blockchain. So we see the development of Bitcoin. So, and there are many lessons that you can just take from Bitcoin development. But for us, it's very important that actually that actually people should obey the rules, And the thing that Bitcoin showed us, that you can develop a system which is run algorithmically, and you cannot change it, So you cannot have people, going there just changing thing, like we had these things, with elections, when people go into the servers, change something, and they influence the output. There are some changes also in computer system, of course, as well, just related. So we had, for example, I know the statistics for 2014, but say in 2013, in Ukrainian banking sector, we lost 300 million hryvnia. Because of intrusions, into the system. Okay, so actually, if we can just make things, work more algorithmically and with less involvement on people, we hope that we can really just provide people with better services and more reliable service. Okay, so. We as NDU, as the National Depository of Ukraine, also looking at many CSDs and central counterparties and exchanges in the world, like NASDAQ, their experiments with Q4 or some other experiments. So we also just look at this direction, but at the time being, we are especially interested in blockchain technology because maybe with our first steps, this technology can help us, all the problems that we were talking about before, with the loss of data, just with the loss of integrity of data. Okay, so and we are now just talking, and we are just launching a project really to understand whether blockchain technology can help us, with a data backup. So basically, if we can put all our data in a blockchain, and use it in a distributed way, and then, for example, all these mishaps that we had, before, so maybe we can just, somehow avoid them, So if we'll use not only backup facility, but plus, the whole internet, to put our information there, just to store it really in internet like blockchain does, okay? And also the blockchain can help us to maintain integrity of data. As you know, so in blockchain, if you just take something out, so the technology allows you just to back up everything, to restore it again, and to restore it in a proper way. So this is 2 steps that we would like to explore right now, and we are just starting projects there, and the next step will be really just to use a general ledger facility, because the general ledger facility is really going to help us, just to move to revolutionize the financial market, because we can go from the correspondent relationships, okay? Because now all the international banking system, or even securities, they are just established on the basis of correspondent relations. So these are bilateral relations between 2 financial institutions, and in this way, maintaining accounts with each other. Okay, you can really just transfer assets, and we have the whole web of this correspondent relations in the world. And this is how international financial system works now. But having centralized general ledger, which is in internet and everybody can access it, so we can go from the distributed system to the centralized system. And then, but this centralized system will be in internet, so everybody can access it. So there are a lot of issues with security, and reliability and things like this. But still, this is what we think, we will go into, and that's why we will also start the projects in this area. But as a first step, as I told you, so our idea is just that maybe we are exploring, how we can use blockchain for data backup and for maintaining integrity of data. Okay. So basically, we're in Odessa, so
so that you don't forget.
Have great fun, Just relax and just think about blockchain. Maybe have new great ideas, and let's do something together in the future.
Fantastic. Let's have a big round of applause. That was perfect timing. I think we have time for 3 questions. I'd see the first hand, and then there was another one. Go ahead.
Thank you for presentation. When you said exploring blockchain, how exactly you're exploring? So you have a group of IT specialists who are doing it, or you're just reading news, or what exactly are you doing?
Well, of course, we read the news. This is the first thing what we do, and of course we work together. We have a group. Just there are big changes actually going on in the National Depository of Ukraine right now. So we established a project office. Okay, so there is a project office, especially for new projects. So we have a team of people who is working with existing technology, and is trying to improve it a little bit. But still, we have a project office who will be aimed, exactly for the new things. First of all, we have to rebuild our core system. So this our core system. We have problems with it. So we rebuild the core system. And this is one of the projects, and also they're exploring this blockchain opportunities, and that's why we start to work with some other outsourcing providers. So we also work with Pavel, and with Vladimir Dubinin, with many other bright people, who can help us really to understand and really to make. We're just starting feasibility study actually for these issues. So this is the way how we do it. Okay.
Thank you very much. There was another. Yep, Anton.
Hello, thank you for your speech. Many years ago, I was working on government automation of some business processes, and we always faced with the same problem. So my question might be tricky. Do you have enough investment to make all these changes? Because I know it's pain in Ukraine.
Yes, we are lucky enough to have enough capital. We have more than 100 million hryvnia capital in National Depository of Ukraine, and which is enough, if you take into consideration regulation, for CSD, and for CSD work, you have to have special capital adequacy. This 100 million, is enough, for our work. This first thing, and we are lucky enough, just to have this in quite liquid form. So it's not in the buildings in somewhere. We have liquidity, so we are really able to move forward. And also now we are working with the EBRD and with other multilateral financial institutions who are interested, just to support these projects, and they are eager to actually to finance these projects. So actually, I hope that we will have enough funds, really just to move quickly. Okay.
Thank you. And the last question, anyone? Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Thanks again. My question is Ukraine the first in maybe considering Bitcoin for your type of organization, or there are other experiments in other countries you know about them or not?
Am I right? You asked.
I'm asking about applying blockchain to what services you are currently doing in your organization.
Yes. Yeah. Bank of Finland has also a big project. Yeah, has big project on that. So everybody, just for many years, I was involved in SWIFT. I just recently came also from the meeting. We have ESA meeting, European SWIFT Alliance meeting in Bergen. Okay. And this meeting of countries, who don't have one representative in the SWIFT board. Okay, that's why they have to come together, and to elect for board member in SWIFT. Okay, so this is a regular meetings, So we have 4 meetings a year everywhere in the world, and actually next will be in Athens. And there were also some issues, some debates about this blockchain. So actually, SWIFT is also looking in that direction. SWIFT is also always does what banks are asking them to do, But they are also very interested in not in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is just only one example of blockchain. But the blockchain technology is very interesting, because just to have a distributed general ledger, who can be accessed, by many participants. This idea which attracts people, And still, SWIFT, we have some discussions, So how this technology can be used. Ripple, maybe this Ripple project. They are trying to do also something in this direction. So there are a lot of initiatives, But the technology, the idea, is the same. And just to use this idea, just to start, just to back up data, It's just very interesting and appealing, Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was great pleasure having Yuri giving this wonderful presentation to all the crowd here. I will take my 30 seconds right now explaining that, as you might have noticed already, here the focus on this conference is more